I shaved not that long ago. I need to shave again. Actually, it was about 2 weeks ago. So it was a while. I thought it was a week ago. I was just talking to my mum about something that happened 2 weeks ago, apparently. Feels like a week. I was sure it was a week. That was about the time I last shaved, I think. Hello. Welcome. Get a drink of tea. Let me dip that camera down a bit as well. Alright, so what's going on? What is going on? So I've had this issue before, so I'm trying to fix it basically. I'm trying to understand what causes it. I have a theory. Let me explain the problem first. So we download a model. This is March 7th. Hunt March 7th. And she is missing her textures. Now this March 7th was mapped using the AccuRig system, which is AI. And what I believe is happening, when I try to go and fix the textures in Unity, they no longer line up. They no longer line up. And what I believe is happening is the UV map is being changed by AccuRig. Now, as far as I'm aware, it shouldn't really do that though, but I think it might be. I don't know, something's happening. Now try as hard as I have to actually get the textures to export with Blender. It just, my God, that is not an easy process. Because I believe if we import a model in here, let's get a model. Let's get a model that it actually supports. So we could get one from Sketchfab. Let's just do a test. I'm pretty sure I already know the answer to this. I'm pretty sure AccuRig will retain the materials and the textures if it has them. The issue is that Blender is not. Just, oh my God, just what is happening? Characters and creatures. Isn't that what I was doing? Where's downloadable? This is not the normal. This is not the normal view. Why does it look weird? Why does it look weird? Why does it look weird? It doesn't normally look like that. Normally I have download. There's a downloadable box I can click. We don't care about rigged. It doesn't really matter. Just something that can be rigged, I guess. So a human form would probably be better. And if we can get one that's in like a Y pose or a T pose, that would probably be even better for us. Just to do a quick test. I mean, this guy. $15. Yeah, this is why. Oh my God. A polycount license rating. Right, price it. Why is this not? What has happened? Have they changed their site? You can't even set $0 on the price. Okay, what the hell is going on? What the hell? This is not my Sketchfab. Oh my God, have they gone like ultra freaking commercial or something? I hope not. So I normally, okay, whatever, dude. There we go, we're back to my normal view. Okay, if you search for the thing, it looks normal. But yeah, their storefront is really trying to push you into paid content, which is kind of bullshit because it doesn't even, it's Walter White, it doesn't even give you a $0 option, so you can't filter by free. Yeah, I noticed that you can't do that from here either. I like the Jurassic Park. Why am I looking up his skirt? I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to scroll it up, like, but I guess it's middle mouse, so we can get him fully in view. So there you go. We'll use this as an example. All right, so I'm going to download the model. We'll do FBX. Okay, we've got cool low poly dude. which we'll extract now. And then it's kind of weird, right? Because see, I'm used to FBXs having a separate texture file. Okay, I have to click load and then drag it, apparently. Okay, there he is. Yeah, look, he came over with his textures. He came over with his color. So then, if this messes with UV mapping, I would hope it would keep the textures intact, even if it changed the UV mapping. So our biggest issue now is getting the textures out with the FBX file, which is such a pain in the ass. I haven't actually succeeded at doing that in Blender yet. I was working in documents. Where is documents? There is documents. Okay, so I tried several times. March 7 E. I got A, B, C, D, and E, and all of them failed. So I have my March 7th blend file, which it doesn't want to let me open. Shut up. Right. Shading. What happened to the shading? There it is. Okay, and as you can see, she's fully shaded. She's fully textured. The last tutorial I was following late last night said to bake, which is why I'm in bake, diffusion, color, and then it basically bakes a new texture map. When I do that, everything goes black. She just turns black. So Twitter will be happy about that. But I'm not, because I want it to look like the actual character and not the social justice version. Let me have a look. Let's make a folder for the output. We'll make a folder called March Output. March-output. Okay, we'll go in here. We'll go in here. So the two things I have seen is, one is to use external data to automatically pack resources, which I've already packed. Relative paths would be better. Another one is when we go to export it, we go to here, and path mode wants to be copy, and this box needs to be ticked to say that we're copying embed textures. There it is, right? So March 7.fpx. So if we export that now, so what typically happens in my other programs is I'll get an FBX file and I'll get an FBM file, and the X is the mesh, essentially, the animations, and the M is the materials. However, in my cool dude example there that I just used, it actually had a separate folder called textures, and it loaded it in that way. So I'm guessing I'm looking for either one of those. Now, yeah, all I got was the FBX file. I already know that hasn't worked because it's 3.2 kilobytes, right, which is the same size it's always been, minus the materials. And there's no, again, there's no separate like materials file or anything like that. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Now if I go to bake, okay, so if we bake diffuse sampling, let's leave it at defaults, I guess. I don't know what any of this means. It has to be on cycles. We can use GPU or CPU. And denoise, whatever. Volumes, curves, don't need to worry about any of that. Bake. We're not baking from a multi-res model. We need to be on the mesh, which we are. And color should be fine. And I think we're targeting... I've always done image textures. I could try the other one, I guess. But in the tutorial I've been following, I'm pretty sure it said to use that. And so if I bake this now, everything goes black. Black. Hola, Tommy. Hello, how are you? Are we doing good? So I am more than a little confused. If I scroll up here, I can see nodes and shit. Like, oh my god, I can't believe how complicated it is. Like, I just want the bloody materials with the, like an FBM file. I just want like the FBX and the FBM. I just want the mats to come with it. And like, oh my god, Blender sucks. It seems way too unnecessarily convoluted. Like, Autodesk's 3D Max and stuff is way much more intuitive. But it's also like $1,000 or something. But it's also one of those things where like once you know it, right? It's like once I know it, I know it. Anyway, let me just go back to the tutorial I was following. This was the tutorial I was following. And as far as I can tell, I've done everything he did. What I might do is download this exact model and just follow it step by step and see if we can get things to work. The other problem is, well, with a lot of these tutorials, they assume you know what all this was, right? It took me a while to figure out that this window here is probably that one there. I'm still not 100% sure about that, but I think so. There, and we have like MMD shader dev. But I don't know for sure. There you go, it just all went black. So then what I was thinking is, okay, so if it's all gone black, then I probably just need to change the texture, right? So then I was like looking at these and being like, okay, so it's just going to be one of these. And I thought maybe it would be render result, but that doesn't do anything. And if I go through all of these, it's pretty much the same output. Everything's just black. So I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. No idea. Why is it disappeared? Probably because I'm not on there. Right. But the other problem that I have, right, is when he does the baking, his model doesn't go black. I would feel better if his model went black like mine and then he sort of fixed it by changing something, but that never happens in his. So I feel like I'm doing something wrong, but I don't know what. I have no idea. Okay, let me load the model back because I feel like I broke it. So don't save. March 7th. Okay. And let's go along. Export to Unity without baking. Yeah, he demonstrated what happens, and yeah, what happens is you end up with this with no texture. We know that. And he said to go and check a UV map. Well, mine's already a UV map because I downloaded it. If you go to UV editing, there's the UV map. So we've got that. All right, let's just follow through the tutorial. Okay, export to Unity without baking. We don't need that. Okay, bake diffuse map. Let's see. Hello?
Our textures. So to bake our texture, the first important thing we need is our object has to have a proper UV mapping. So I select this bread object, press tab to go into the edit mode.
Guys, just slow down. So he picks on, he selects one of the, which view is he in as well? I have no idea. I hate the way YouTube vomits text all over the video when you pause it. Because, like, I need to see what's fucking selected up here, right? And it's just blocking everything. I can't see shit because of YouTube's crap UI. There we go. It's in layout. Right, layout. So he's in layout view. The problem is his layout view has a million windows that I don't have. I don't know how to make mine look like his. He doesn't cover any of that. So my layout looks completely different to his. I have like a timeline, which he has. I have my 3D edit, which I have my tabs, but he's got these 2 extra panes. It's a pane, alright. Which I have no idea how he's doing that. Because I don't use this fucking software, right? Like, so this is the issue. Like, he first I would need to know how he's got his goddamn thing laid out. And this is the other thing, right? If you're making a fucking tutorial for a beginner, right, show them how to do it from fucking factory settings. All right, if you've got custom layouts and toolbars and all this stuff, and then you click it on nodes left and right, expecting people to know what any of that is, then you're deluded. Because of course we're not going to know what it is unless you show us. We're not mind readers. Like, if my layout does not look like your layout, and you should have taken that into account, because I need, first thing I need to do, which I'm absolutely clueless on how to do, is I need to add those 2 windows to my layout view, and I don't know how to do it. I haven't a clue how to do it. I don't even know which windows I'd be adding. That's the other problem. It's just frustrating. View layer, view layer. I don't see what's different. I don't have those buttons like he has. Those buttons, I think, are part of his docked window. So it's like he has an extra pane. It's like he has an extra column. Which I have no idea how to get. Of course, because I'm new. I don't use the software. Toggle X-ray. Viewport shading. So, like, what the hell am I supposed to do now, then? Perspective orthographic. I have no idea what I'm doing. This may as well be written in fucking Chinese. Well, some of it is, actually. Okay, at least I've still got a sense of humor, I guess. Oh my fucking god, this is so frustrating. I don't know where to fucking start. I'm looking for like a window menu. Oh, there's a window menu. New window. What does that do? Looks in between the legs. I mean, naturally, where else would you look? So we've got a new window. And what? Is this how we do it? Do I just dock this somehow in? It doesn't seem to want to dock anywhere, does it? This is a floating window. That's not it. New main window, next workspace. New main window? I think that just duplicated the... Yeah, that made a copy of the file, essentially, in memory. So that's not it. So it's like stab in the dark time, you know? I felt like a new window was closer to what I wanted than the new main window. But I don't understand how I dock this to the main window. I also noticed a little arrow there. What does that do? Okay, there's a hidden menu there. Like, I wouldn't even fucking known that. But that doesn't look like anything he's got, so I don't think that's it. Can I right click? I have no idea how to do this. Unless, can we drag tabs? I was thinking we could drag tabs and dock them like you can in some programs. But surely if it was one of his tabs, then we wouldn't see the tabs at the top, right? Which we do. So it's probably got nothing, because we already know he's in the layout tab. So I don't think it's that either. So I'm running out of ideas. I haven't a fucking clue. How am I meant to know? The worst part is I don't even know what these windows are. Like, what window is this? I don't know what it is. What window is this? I assume that's like UV mapping of some sort because it's got UV and stuff on it. But I don't know how to get these windows. I haven't a clue. Okay, I need a different tutorial, one that's actually going to show me how to set all this up. Not someone who just assumes I already know Blender inside out. If I already knew Blender inside out, I wouldn't be watching a tutorial, would I? Like, maybe make it for your audience and not yourself. Blender, bake textures. It's just frustrating. I don't know whether I'm baking textures or baking materials. I don't know. I don't care about one texture map. I just want to include them on export. Blender, export materials. I don't know. There's a million ways to word this. Right, how do I've followed these. This does not work. Tried it a million times. He's gonna say he's gonna say copy path, which I've tried a million times. Yep. Now he has the bottom button. I don't know if that makes a difference. He has the bottom button highlighted, which I don't. I've tried it with that button on as well though. March output. Copy. March 7th. Export FBX. Documents. March output. Same shit every single time. Same shit every single time. Every single time. Every single time. Doesn't work.
Models from Blender into Unity. Also, welcome to the channel. I'm a game developer and artist, and I love making content all around game development. So if that's
and you've got sparkly, and you have sparkly breasts.
Export a model from Blender to Unity,
apparently,
you know that getting models into your Unity project can be very challenging. And this is because
Unity
does not understand Blender's built-in node system.
Excuse me, don't blame Unity, alright? Right? Why should it have to? Excuse me, can Blender understand Unity's complicated game engine? No. But can we get stuff out of Unity and into Blender? Yeah. Why is that? Because Unity's got good export tools, that's why. Don't be. I'm sick of people blaming Unity for everything. It's like Unity and Mahoyo. It's like Mr. and Mrs. Satan in everyone's eyes. What is wrong with people? Blender's the one at fault here. Blender should give better support for exporting this shit. Like, what 3D modeling software? It's just bizarre to me, right? You have a maximum of like 3 or 4 things to worry about in a 3D model, right? Mesh. Okay, there's also possibly bone rigging and all that. Animation, materials, and textures. It's one of the 5 fundamental things as part of a 3D model. If you don't have support for exporting all of these things, your software is shit, not the one you're trying to import it into. Because it doesn't matter which other software I try to import these exported models into, it is missing its materials. Can't load what it doesn't have. Calm down. I just don't understand that, like, oh, it's because Unity doesn't understand the complex materials. No, it's not. What are you talking about? So then, no other software in the universe other than Blender understands those materials either. You know why? Because they're written for Blender. So that's why it's Blender's job. It's like, oh my god, it's so bizarre. It's like I'm going to invent my own language that only I know about. Bagenschnugen means snooker. Boevenschniegenschna means mouse and keyboard. And then you expect everybody else in the world to understand what you're saying when you start speaking this unknown language to them. The fucking arrogance. And then saying, oh, it's because you don't understand my language. Unbelievable. I want to dislike her already. Taught us like a twat. Right.
It understands some of it, which can be extremely confusing.
Just get on with it.
When you're exporting your assets.
It's not confusing, it's just shit software.
With cool effects and materials, but when you export them, it doesn't translate.
It's not confusing, it's frustrating that they have a shit modeling package.
A lot of different types of models with unique colors and textures.
I don't care about your mushrooms, just show me how to do it.
But I'm going to show you how to do this on my new.
Yeah, about fucking time.
I already have all of my materials created for this model.
Oh, good for you.
There's a lot of gradient color effects that I'm using.
Okay, one thing I will say about this girl over the other guy, not only can I understand it better, I'm sorry, but I struggle with accents sometimes. So not only can I understand what she's saying a little bit easier, but also I recognize this view that she's in, right? This should be my shading view, which looks pretty much identical to hers, which is exactly what I was saying, right? I appreciate this. If we look at my view and compare it to her view, they're pretty much identical, right? So if she clicks on something now, I kind of know what she's clicking on. I can get those nodes up there by scrolling up here. There we go. And so when, you know, this is what we want, right? We want something we can identify and recognize. The other guy's got this like custom window. It doesn't show you how to make it. And it's just expecting you to know what these things are that he's clicking on and how to get them and where to go. Like if I knew that, I wouldn't be watching your tutorial, you dipshit.
Here because this mushroom is multicolored.
Yeah.
There's just one issue, and that's that I'm using Blender's built-in node system to make these colors, and it's purely for use inside of Blender. If I were to export this right now, none of my colors would show up correctly, if at all. The only thing that Unity understands inside of Blender is the principled BDSF node right here and the material output node. If you just have a really simple material where only that is needed, you can export it and it will work inside of Unity. Say you just need a flat white, flat red, something of that nature. But most of the time, you're probably going to want models that have a bit more detail and interest. So what we have to do is essentially translate this into something that Unity understands. To start off, we need to unwrap the different parts of our model. For this model, we have the cap, the stem, and the gills, which have slightly different colorations. We'll have to repeat this process for each part of the model, but let's start off with the cap. So first off, we're going to go into our UV editing tab.
I've already got
In the
UV
layout
mode.
tab, if we tab in edit mode, hit A, we can select the entire mesh. Now in our UV editing tab, if we hit U and select Smart UV Project, this will unwrap our mesh and prepare it for what we're about to do next. Most people will add some margins here, but since my models are pretty simple,
Okay, well, just to sort of follow along, yeah, these guys have already done this because it came from a PMX, and I think Miku Miku Dance uses a similar UV wrapping thing, so it's already got the UV wrapping. Which is why I don't understand why this is so difficult to do, right? Because, like, she's going on, like, yes, I get what she's saying, right? If you basically, it's the other way around, right? Blender, it's actually the other way around. Blender has different ways of coloring materials, which most Blenderers seem to use over the principal BDSM or whatever it is, right? Whereas all the other kinky 3D programs like a bit of BDSM. I mean, who doesn't? So that's why you have to use the BDSM. Most people would be just using the BDSM anyway. But all these Blenderanians who think they're so much better than all the BDSM morphos, they're like, oh, that's too kinky for me. I don't like that kinky shit. I'm going to use Blender's safe for work coloring scheme. Like, you know, paint by numbers, Crayola. system, and Unity doesn't understand that. It's too dirty. It's too dirty-minded to understand a simple coloring book. Yeah, so like it's actually the other way around, right? Blender's just not using the same thing as everybody else because it thinks it's special. So you have to make sure that the one that everything else uses, which has nothing to do with Unity, by the way, because like I said, every other program on the planet uses this thing. She's making it sound like fucking Unity's like awkward or something. No, Blender's the thing that's fucking awkward.
I actually haven't run into any issues with not adding them in. Now with our cap unwrapped, we can proceed to the next part, where we will be converting our materials from Blender's node system and baking it into an image that Unity can read. With the unwrapping that we just did, we've just told Blender how the image is going to wrap around the object, so now we just need to create the act.
Right, let me just hold up a sec. Yeah, this is the other thing, right? Is it's so hard to see any of that, but the green one I think is principled BDSM, which I don't have on my nodes, right? My nodes, I don't know if I need to do, oh god, don't tell me I have to do every single part of the model individually. Yeah, I don't have a BDSM node right now. Fucking hell, this is why I hate visual scripting. I'd rather just write code, honestly. I hate visual scripting, it's so awkward. Right. Now, I know that Shift and A from the other tutorial, you could bring up a search, and if we search for principal BDSM, we get the BDSM node. And she had, what was it, material output. So what she's doing is she's feeding whatever comes out of here through BDSM first. Now, I don't know how to do that. But I'm going to start by putting that in between the two. Oh, here we go. And I'm guessing that goes in there. That might be enough to do it, to be honest. I have no idea. Is that what she's got? She's got color. Well, hers is a different node. Mine's coming from MMD Shaver Dev. Base texture, base alpha. Shader out to base color. BDSM out to surface. I mean, the good news is nothing's gone black yet, but then again, this is pre-bake, I think. So I don't know. I mean, her, you know, she's not using MMD Shader Dev, so I don't know if I've set that up right, but I would assume, because that's the only right node, I would assume that's correct. I'm tempted just to do the baking now, but we'll follow along.
Actual image.
So as far as I can tell, mine's set up as close to hers as I can get, but I am using a different materials and textures to her. She's using Crayola Blender, you know, safe for work coloring system that's written in its own unique blog and Schneegenschnein language that Unity is just not sophisticated enough to understand. Whereas I'm using like something a bit more universal, which is like the PMX shaders or whatever.
To do this, we're going to need to create an image texture by clicking Shift A and then searching for image texture. We're going to select New and create a new file and name it appropriately. In my case, Amethyst Cap.
Right, this was a bit that I was very confused about before. Wait, what? Let me go back a bit. What did she click on anything in the panel first, or does it not matter?
We just told Blender how the image is going to wrap around the object that Unity can read. With the unwrapping that we just did, we've just told Blender how the image is going to wrap.
The issue I have right now is I don't know what she's got selected over here, if anything. And
There's no system and baking it into an image that Unity can read. With the unwrapping that we just did, we've just told Blender.
I guess that's what's selected. So she's got Amethyst top clicked.
How the image is going to wrap around the object.
Okay, yeah, because it's orange.
Image.
It's orange around there, right?
Create an image texture by clicking Shift A and then
Shift it. So I don't know if it matters that you have anything. keep pressing Control there, so it seems more intuitive to me, but whatever. There it is, image texture. Oh, you fucking shit. Shit pit. Let me just search for it. Oh, what the fuck, dude? Shift A, search, image, texture. There it is. Okay. Right, follow along.
Searching for image texture. We're going to select new and create a new
This is a whole lot of bollocks just to get fucking materials out, isn't it?
file and name it appropriately. In my case, amethyst cap, neck.
Oh my god, you're supposed to do this for each and every fucking part of the model. Do you know how many parts my model has? Well, we'll see if we can do it all in one big swoop. We probably can't, but we could try. You would seriously have to do this manually for every part of the model. This is such horseshit. Okay, I'm going to call it material test. And then we'll go like pretty high. 2048. 2048. We'd normally start with a white, wouldn't we? So we can stick an image in it.
Next, we need to set up our settings to bake the image onto this texture. If we go into our renders
So she clicked OK.
settings on the right-hand side, which is the second one from
Yeah, this is where I was before. This is where I'm in it now.
top, we need to make sure that we have a few things in place. First off, you're going to want your render
Cycles.
image to be cycles.
Yes.
And then you can adjust your sampling numbers as you please.
Like I know what any of that means. Like I'm supposed to be a Blender sampling mathematics expert now.
I'm keeping the default on
But of course it's Unity's fault.
viewport samples, but changing the render max samples to 300.
It's always
The
Unity's
general rule
fault.
here is as low as possible without sacrificing quality. 300 is still probably way too high for my model, which it just affects how long it's going to take your machine to render. And I have a very powerful machine, so I can kind of get
Oh, do you now? Shame it's not powerful enough to understand Blender's complicated materials in Unity, isn't it?
away with that. Going down to performance, auto detect is fine. It just means that Blender will pick up on how many cores your CPU has. Going into bake settings, we want to change combined to diffuse and uncheck direct and indirect lighting since we only care about color here. And then with our mesh and our image texture selected, we're going to hit bake. And
But she hasn't got selected to active ticked. So our image wants to be selected. So this was the part I was missing then, I guess. So I'm pretty sure everything over here is set up correctly. Color, diffuse, clear image, image textures, bake. So now I'm guessing it's going to bake the textures to this material test. Yeah, which was the part I guess I was missing before. I didn't have an image to put it into. But when you think that Blender would have said something about that. Like, oh hey, you might want to set up somewhere for this to go. I don't know, whatever. Like I said, it's just this is one of the most unintuitive programs I've ever used in my life. Now I'm sure it's probably great and it's free as well. It's probably great once you understand how it works and you get used to it and familiar with it and everything. But as a newcomer, to use Blender just to sort of quickly get an object from one file format into another. Yeah, this stuff is incredibly confusing. My stream's dying because of this. Everything went black again.
And as soon as it's done, we can see what that image looks like over on the left-hand side.
It's completely black. It's completely black again. I'm no further forward again. I think the problem is, yeah, Electus, it's not actually running right now because I'm doing this and I need all my resources for this, so I can refund you if you like. Yeah, it's switched off right now because I need all my compute that I can save for this, sadly. I think this works if, again, right, it's like this is using a PMX shader system which already has materials and textures, so I think maybe this method is only for materials that have been colored within Blender using this specific function. So here's my prediction. My prediction is that that system that she's talking about, I want refund. Yeah, I can refund you. Give me a sec. Do that now. If I can remember where to go. View rewards. There we go. The rewards. That's not rewards. Power up and channel points. There it is. Manage PowerPoints. Oops. Where the hell is that? Customer rewards. Manage alerts. Review requests queue. 4 months ago, 3 months ago, 2 months ago. There we go, 2 minutes ago. It should put that at the top, not at the bottom. Mark as complete or reject. I think I reject it. There you go. You should have that back now. Yeah. Hang on a sec. Oh, sorry about that. Thank you and remembered me. I do recognize your name. Yeah, I do recognize your name. What's funny, actually, Electus. That was I sort of worked for a company by that name at one point. Well, there was like a sister company. I worked for the other company that had a similar name. Yeah, that was one of the names that was set up. Yeah, so my prediction is that the coloring system that she's referring to, which creates these materials, they're all just set to black, which is why we get a black texture and everything goes black, I'm guessing. So I don't know. It's got to be like that we're not doing diffusion, maybe? But what else would it be? Or maybe it's UV. Maybe we bake the UV. Okay, let me try. Can I just undo that? Sadly not. So I need to load. Okay, I'll load from its previous point. Okay, so what was it again? So we set up our principal BDSM. We shift an A. We want an image. Oh, you've got to. This is so awkward. You've got to click search first, then type image, then click image texture, new, Nah, we'll just do 1024 by 1024 for now. Set it to white. Click OK. Make sure that's select. Oh, I have to give it a name. Math test. And then over on here, maybe we don't do diffuse. Maybe we do UV. I don't know. I'm left to guess, really, aren't I? Selected to active. I don't know. Probably not. One of the tutorials that I watched had this one ticked, right, but he made a duplicate of the mesh to put the materials on, so he had like 2 copies. So I'm guessing that's what that's for. So I think let's just do a quick version because it's gonna hang up my computer, isn't it? All right, let's try that and see what UV does. And we'll just do 32 samples. Because all we're really looking for is something that doesn't turn it all black, so we know we're on the right track. Texture back. MMD shader dev. I mean, maybe it's also, maybe it's not the Cycles render engine, right? If we want the textures. Everybody's showing me Cycles render engine for these ones where the materials are being colored. But that's not what's happening here, I don't think. I think this PMX MMD shader thing is completely different. It almost makes me wonder if we would need to like bake the shader itself somehow. I don't know. Well, it didn't go black. I mean, okay, I'm curious what that would do. Okay, let's see what that does. Because even though all the colors are wrong, right? As long as the UV's correct, we can apply the material, like we can apply the textures after the fact, right? Which would be fine. I just want to delete the original FBX so that we know that when it shows up, that way we know that when it shows up, it is actually the FBX. And then again, we want copy, we want to include that, we want march output, we want to export FBX. Now, at this point, I don't even really care. Or do I? I just had the weirdest thought in my head. It's like, okay, if my next step is to load this into a 3D modeling load it somewhere else, right, and then apply the textures rather, to then get it into AccuRig and then return the materials. Well, couldn't I have done that with the original model without unwrapping the textures? Surely. See what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, okay, I could do that. So for example, if I go into 3D Exchange and I load this, right, these are the materials here, then yeah, I could apply the textures directly. I don't know which is which. It would be trial and error, I guess. Is that looks like the same? No, that's not the same text as what's up there. Can I not just drag and drop? Yeah, why not? I can open. I guess I just have to go. That looks like eyelashes to me. I don't know if that's right or not. But yeah, thinking about it, I could have just done this anyway though, right? Like I wouldn't need to unwrap the UV to do it this way. This might be the way that I have to do it. I don't even know what, because obviously I can't read Chinese, right? So it would need to be like trial and error really. That looks like the face. That looks right to me. And then what's this? I don't even know which part that was. No idea. Oh, that's mouth, I think. I know the kanji for mouth because it's just a square. Looks like a mouth. Yeah, that actually says mouth. I know, because I remember in Japanese it's the same. That might be eye. I think these are all face components. I'm not sure actually. I should probably go through anyway and just try. Yeah, you can see it was the mouth because the mouth changed. I think that's eye. Okay, maybe it's not the eye. Yeah, this is the problem. As you can see, the problem with this is it's freaking tedious, isn't it? Imagine if you've got 100 materials. It doesn't seem ideal. I just hate it, right? Because like it'll load. You can see they're all there set correctly in Blender. How the frick do I get them out? Ah, it's so annoying. There we go. There's the eye. These are all layers of the eye, I guess. Okay, that's not the right image for that. This one is her dress thing. It's probably that one. Yeah. Yeah. And that's probably the same. Yeah, it's like the inside of a cloak. These are probably all dress mats now. Oh my god, this is so... There we go. Yeah, but the issue, yeah, the issue with this is, I could have just done that anyway without unwrapping the UV. Okay, this is a hair, clearly. Guessing it's that one, is it? Yeah. That says hair 2. So I guess I'm putting the same thing back on. I don't know what this is. I have no clue. I have no idea. No idea. I don't know what that is. What did that change? Something near the face? Something near the face. A neck. Her neck. So I'm still no further forward with this frickin' thing, am I? Like, yeah, I think I can solve the issue with this specific model by just doing what I'm doing now, which is to apply the materials again outside of the textures outside of Blender, then re-export it as an FBX from here, import it into the bone rigging, export it again. It's going to be like import, export, import, export. It's just way too many what should be unnecessary steps if Blender just had an easy way. But apparently it's all Unity's fault. Blender just had an easy way to get the fucking textures and materials out in an FBX. Every other fucking 3D software can manage it, but somehow it's Genshin Impact's fault. It's always Genshin Impact's fault. It's Paimon's fault. She's too white. That's why. It's all Paimon's skin's fault. One of the dumbest arguments for that I heard, right, was, oh, one of these characters in that LAN is based on like some black like god or deity or something, and oh, now when you search for that it's like, you know, some white anime character and our culture is being replaced. So what are you talking about? In Neon Evangelion, right, there's a Adam and an Eve, right, which was like the first two whatevers, which obviously based on Christianity. So does that mean Christianity was the Japanese were trying to replace Christianity with Evangelion? Like, no, you clown. If anything, it has the opposite effect, right? People are now going to be aware of your god, of this character, whatever it is, right? This god deity in your culture that nobody else would have give a flying fuck about before, right? Outside of your culture. So it's actually spreading awareness to it. It's actually helping you. Now, yeah, okay, you could argue and say, oh yeah, but it should be like, you know, black or whatever, because the original one was. But I don't know, like, it's their intellectual property, right? If they want to, and at the end of the day, like, if you look at the most popular countries that play the game, they're not interested in any of that stuff. They just want, like, fun, attractive characters or whatever. And I think traditionally they just haven't sold. Characters haven't sold too well like that. So it's not the company's job to appease this tiny minority of people and massively hurt their bottom line and profits just to please a couple of people who probably aren't going to spend money in the game anyway. These people who are complaining about it probably won't well in the game to begin with anyway. Even if you made every character black, they probably still wouldn't. They probably didn't even play the game, most of them. So the arguments are just absolutely insane. But yeah, the argument that, like, your culture's being replaced is just the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, no, this is actually going to draw more attention to your culture. So actually that's a good thing if you care about, like, people becoming aware of it. Because otherwise, like, no one's going to be like, oh, I think today, oh, what should I do today? I could play a fun anime gacha game, you know what I mean, on my day off from work. I could just look up a random black gods from ancient history that I would, you know, never even have an interest in looking up. Like, no one's doing that. It's not like somebody was going to go and look at this thing, but now, because of the game, they won't. It's the other way around, you clown. People will be like, but apparently this is based on a real, let me look into that. Oh, right, okay. Right? Good Lord. People have brains. So yeah, Christianity was replaced by Japan, because there's an Adam and Eve in Evangelion. So, you know, we should boycott the anime and everything associated with it. Because they're trying to erase our religion, our culture. Fucking dumbasses. Right. Let's export this again. I don't think there's an animation with that. No, if there was, it would let me tick it. So embed textures is already ticked. It should do all this in this software for us, because this software can actually work properly, unlike some softwares. So we've got March output. I'll put it in there, and we'll call it 7M for T for textured. How about that? March 7T for textured. Okay. But yeah, that just takes a long time. That's my issue. And there you go. This is the FBM that I was talking about. This is what we needed Blender to do. This is all I want Blender to do. Oh, the weird thing is, though. Okay, that's weird. The weird thing is the M folder exists, but it doesn't have anything in it. Which probably means this won't work. That's what I thought. Well, now I feel foolish. And now suddenly we've got a March 7 FBM. Oh wait, it just took time. Okay, it just took a while. Okay, it just took a while to do it. I guess it was still doing it. Let's try that again. Yeah, I thought that was weird. It's like I was gonna say I thought that would normally work. So what we need is we need to make sure it loads the textured version in here, because like I say, my assumption is that it's changing the UV map somehow when it rigs the character. So then I can't apply the textures in Unity, because when I do, the UV mapping's all changed so that it doesn't quite line up. Right, we get weirdness going on, which is a bit naughty of it. It shouldn't really do that, but I don't know. I don't know how it works. Maybe it has to. Ah! Why won't it load the texture? Come on. It's taken this long to get a textured FBM March 7th, and now you won't load the fucking materials. Are you kidding me? This is not good enough. Yeah, it should just be that one, right? Oh my god, this is infuriating. Why is it so hard to get a textured fucking model this day and age? This is insane. It's actually insane that this is so hard to do. Oh my god. Why won't you do... I'm just going to close the software and open it up again. Now it's like... Now I'm starting to think that this fucking software is just fucking trash. It's just like, it's just not loading the fucking materials right. Clearly they're all there. And this is the other thing, right? If you're going to make software that you know is going to change the UV mapping on the model, you better make damn sure that those textures are taken care of. So it's like the worst of both worlds. It's refusing to load textures, but then it's also going to fuck my UV map up so I can't fix it outside of this software later. Wow, why don't I just put my fucking kitten in the fucking blender while I'm at it? Actually, that reminds me of an awful dream I had last night. Really awful dream. God, it was awful. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, I've had some awful dreams lately. I don't know what the fuck's going on there. Check model, what does that even mean? Can we check for updates or anything? This is actually driving me insane. Merge opacity to diffuse textures. Split mesh by material. It's going to be an object file anyway, isn't it? What if we export it as an object file? This is actually insane. I don't understand why it's so difficult to get a fucking character textured into this freaking trash software. That's the worst part. It's not actually trash software. Like, the thing that it's meant to do, it does really, really well. The rigging. It's actually kind of nuts how good that is. But it's only so useful if it's gonna fuck with the UV maps. Oh my god. And now it's not even loading the object file, but maybe it's still exporting or something. It's taking time because the other one took time. I think if it was going to work, it would have worked by now. Oh my god, this is pure pain and suffering. Because, like, what do I even do at this point? Include geometry. Embed textures. Maybe don't rename duplicate objects. Target tool preset. I don't fucking know. 3ds Max. Unlink skinned mesh and move to scene root. Delete source morph shapes. Oh my god, I'm actually going out of my mind. Right, we don't have an FBM for March 7U right now, which is the Unity export template, whatever the hell you want to call it, settings. So at the moment it doesn't include any materials, but this is the issue, right? Is even when it does include materials, this thing doesn't seem to want to load them. Oh my god, I actually feel like I'm banging my head against the brick wall. I just do. What it did do is it loaded, didn't it load? It loaded the one with the dude in it. It loaded the very early test that we did. We downloaded the Sketchfab one. Let's have a look at that and see how it's set up. Does it have to have like a specific fucking layout to do it? Where even was that? I can't remember where I put it now. It's probably in downloads or something. I don't know, I thought I left it open. Yeah, cool low poly dude. Let's just drag and drop because I don't want to imagine I'll probably lose the path anyway, won't I? And even though they're in... Oh, but this is the other weird thing, right? So there is a textures folder which has a texture in it. But then in the source folder, it also has the FBM, which has the texture image in it. So essentially what I'm getting at, right, is if it's pulling the textures... I need to find out, actually. So when we load this version, right, it loads the materials. He's not just plain white. Is this playing a part? Let's delete it and find out. Or is it pulling it from the FBM? Yeah, it's pulling it from the FBM. So how is that any different? Good God, this drives me insane. How is that any fucking different to the March 7th output one that we did here? There's the FBM. I'm freaking looking at it right now. There's a Unity version here as well. All of these have the FBM. It's set up in exactly the same way. So why won't it load these ones? It's not like there's any discrepancy between our example one and the one that we're making. But it just will not do it. God, like it's... What are we on now? It's taken me over an hour to get to this point where I actually have materials with the model. And now it just will not load them. Like, are you serious? I mean, what do you do? What do I even do at this point? It's like this just doesn't want to load mine. It's like just, oh, this one's yours, so fuck you. Yeah, that one you download off the internet. Yeah, fine, I'll load that one. But this one is your blood, sweat, and tears. So you know what? I'm not going to load this one. Fuck you. That's just what it feels like. I mean, that's basically what it's doing. I just, oh my God. Why? Let me take a look at that one again. Well, we looked at it like it was basically just one. It's just the FBM. Like, I know these things, right? I've been using them for fucking years. I know they should have a .fbm with the same name as the FBX, which it does. And then any textures are basically in here. Now, there's got to be something within the FBX file itself that links these, I would think. But, like, that's beyond my control, right? That's all under the hood shit that I shouldn't have to worry about. But in terms of looking at, like, pure file formats, how it typically works is I know it's exported the materials if it includes the FBM folder with a bunch of textures in it. Which it has. But it won't load it. And that in itself wouldn't be that bad if it just left the UV maps alone. But in its infinite wisdom, it decides to not load the textures to retain them. When it butchers the fuck out of your UV maps, then it will butcher the fuck out of your UV maps with no textures attached at all. So when you go back in Unity and try to reapply them, everything is broken. Great job, guys. Fantastic software. You may as well call it the Model Destroyer, right? The fuck you, Ometer 2024. Like, it's absolutely insane. Just load the goddamn materials then. If you insist on butchering my UV maps, load the textures for when you do it. But it won't. It won't do it. I wonder if it's possible. Like, I wonder if it's possible to reapply the original UV maps from the original model onto the rigged model and then save over the top of it so that the textures will load properly. It probably is, but like, I mean, I can't even get Blender to export materials. So good luck trying to do that. This is actually insane. It's actually insane. Let me think about this. The first thing I want to know is it actually butchering the UV maps? There's got to be a way to save this UV map as an image so I can see it in Photoshop, lay the other one over the top of it, and see what's different about it. But also, like, this is only one of the UV maps, right? I would think. I don't know, actually. Because like a model wouldn't typically have a UV map for the whole model, would it? Wouldn't it have like a separate UV map for the face and a separate UV map for whatever? I don't know. It looks like it's got one UV map for the entire model, to be honest. But then why wouldn't it just use one texture, if that's the case? Why do we need separate textures for the face and separate textures for the dress? That doesn't make sense. It's got to have more than one UV map. So how do I look at the other one? Change frame. I would have expected that as you change geometry selections in here, right, it would show you, it would change the map. Okay, so I think basically what this is doing is it's showing me where the mesh is mapped against the face texture, which obviously doesn't apply for the dress. So it definitely has more than one UV map, 100%. But for some weird reason, doing it this way doesn't show me. It just shows me against the first texture, right? It doesn't show me the other textures that are associated with each part of the model. Fuck off. UV editing. Image UV. Export UV layout. So what if we save March 7 UV, but this is, yeah, this is a PNG though. But can I import that? That's the question. Probably not. So we can export a UV, which is what I was saying actually. I mean, this, all this will do is it will help me figure out, and I'm pretty sure I already know the answer anyway. It'll help me figure out, is it in fact fucking with my UV mapping? And I think the answer is yes, because that really is the only, it's the only way I can explain this behavior, right? Why do the textures no longer line up? Probably because it's fucking with the UV map. Would be the most logical assumption. Which is why this is so insanely frustrating that it won't load the fucking textures and materials to retain that. Right, that's kind of weird because I don't really see anything. What? Oh, maybe it's because I didn't have any UV actually selected. And it's doing it by selection. In which case, I would need to go back and make sure all the meshes somehow selected. I don't even know how you do that. Control and A normally does it in most other programs, but good old Blender has to be different. Good old Blender has to be so different to everything else. We can't possibly have Control and A select all. Nope. That would be way too simple. And I don't even think that's selecting everything. That's probably only selecting the front or whatever of the model, because there's no way that's all of its geometry. I had it at some point. Let's just load the original model, because I'm pretty sure I've done something to change it. I'm pretty sure if you go in, yeah, there it is. UV editing from the start. Yeah, so everything is selected now. I don't know how or why. Again, I don't understand the software. It's the most unintuitive fucking trash I've ever seen in my life. It is free though, so it's got that going for it. And I would genuinely use 3ds Max at this point if I could, but I haven't found something that loads PMX files in 3ds Max probably. So I'm stuck with an old version of Blender, because I can't even use a new version of Blender for that. I have to use old Blender to load these PMX models into, and that at least lets me get FBX files out for other programs, for Unity and whatnot. Right, so UV, export UV layout, March 7th UV, export. March 7th UV. There we go. I'm not really sure how this helps me, but what I was thinking is I can load a second one of these. I can look at the UV map from the rigged model, lay the two UV maps over the top of each other, just to prove that my theory is correct, that it's fucking with the UV map. But I think I already know that it's doing that. I think I'm already convinced that it's doing that. What I need to do is I need to be able to save this unwrap data somehow and apply it to the rigged model, I think. So that when I try to fix the textures in Unity, they line up again. But like, I don't even know where to start. Copy UVs, paste UVs. Can you just copy them and paste them? Because there's like, there's no like import as far as I can see. Copy UVs, paste UVs. Right, so can I make it, can I open a new copy of Blender? So I don't lose that one. Yes. Okay. Okay. Now let's open where did the rigged one go? Ooh. Oh, I know where it'll be. It'll be in Unity projects. CatGPT2, assets, models, March 7th. So this is my rigged version with animations and everything. I don't trust that Blender would butcher it somehow though by exporting. Oh wow. What the fuck am I looking at? Wow, that is a very attractive march. Very attractive. Weird. Just a bit. Halloween march. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that the UVs have probably changed at some point. Like if it's butchered it this much. I think it's safe to say that the UVs have changed. But then the weird thing about that is when I go into UV mode, well that's kind of weird, right? Because when I go into UV mode, she looks fine. She is laying down. As opposed to like upright, and a skeleton's upright on the tips of her toes, which is weird. But she's not deformed and distorted like she was in the layout view. You know, I don't know if it's starting to look like there is no UV mapping on here at all. I don't know. I don't really know this well enough to know what I'm really looking at. I thought these were the meshes though. Now when I'm on the mesh, I can select the mesh, right? I get like this. I get these like dots all over the screen. I can't even get that. Bone root. Light. Modifiers, vertex groups. No matter what I select in here, I don't get any UV wrapping. But I also don't get any mesh. Like, I don't even know where the fucking mesh is. Yeah, I don't know. This re-illusion system seems to like have its own fucking way of doing things that are like completely unmanageable anywhere else, which is probably by design actually, because those twats are definitely like that. Yeah, I can't even find the mesh. Like but I don't really know what I'm looking at. That's so weird. The only thing I can select is bones. Edit mode. Select. I have no clue what I'm doing. That's an object. I don't even, like I said, I don't even see the freaking geometry in here. Like on before it went through that, right? It had like mesh at least that I could select. But now it's like, maybe it's not a mesh object anymore. It's like something else. I don't know. It's something else, all right. It's something else, all right. Yeah, so like even if I wanted to, like I can't see a way to just put that UV map from the other version onto here because like I can't even find the geometry on this one. It doesn't even look like it's the same type of thing. It's like it's converted it into something completely different, which it probably has. And I can't even get UV wrapping to show for any of this stuff. Which again, right, just makes me mad at this thing because if this thing's going to do all that weird shit to it, so like once it comes through this, you know, you're kind of stuck. There's no going back. The least it could do is load your fucking materials and textures properly to retain them. And I just don't know why it's not. I really don't. I don't think Blender is the way to do this. I really don't. Because I'm pretty sure there are... Hang on a minute. I've done this before, right? If I use an online converter... This is hit and miss. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I convert the PMX model... That one. Shut up. I just did. Oh my god, I literally just did. It probably doesn't like Chinese text. God, this is frustrating. I need to get a workflow that works better than this. I really do. Yeah, this is the PMX folder with all the PMX shit in it. Yeah, no, I just realized it won't though because like as you can see again the textures are like separate files. What about my bloody MMD software, my PMX editors and stuff? I don't think they don't have FBX export. I know that. They might have an object export though, that's what I'm thinking. Do they include the materials? Oh my god, this is so fucking awkward. I think the way I used to do it back in the day, there was this long convoluted way of doing it, and I thought the Blender method would be easier because some of this software is really old now as well. English PMX editor, PMX editor. Export. Yeah. Okay, we can do object wave front, but these are hit and miss. You can also, I think the way I used to do it is I used to save it as a .x. I used to import it into Masoska or whatever the fuck it's called as an X, and from there I could export it as an FBX or something like that. But it was just, oh my god, it's so awkward. But then again, this Blender method really isn't working when I need to return the materials. It's just not letting me do it. And let's try the object. And then what does that give us? MTL, I think, is a material file that comes along with an object. This might work. She's backwards. I don't think that matters. Or maybe it does actually. Yeah, no, but not only is she backwards, there's still no textures. So this thing is fucking allergic to loading textures. And there's no settings or anything for it. It's just like it's one of those software that like tries to treat you like a baby. It's like, oh, you can barely click a button, so we'll do everything for you, but we'll do it all wrong and give you no options. Oh, I love software like that. So that doesn't work. I know you can save it as an X file. Turn it into Fox Mulder. And I've got this program called Metasec from like 2012. This still exists, but it's like incredibly expensive now, and this was back when it used to be free. Back in the old days, before everything cost $1 million. Back in the good old days. When creativity was either cheap or free. Where did that even go? I don't even know where it went. Oh my god. Oh god, I haven't used this in ages. Open. Yeah, this one's weird. Instead of, it doesn't have an import, you just open it directly. Which always confuses me. Because I'm used to importing things. I am so fucking lost right now. Where did it go? Did I put it in documents? March 7th? Where did I even put it? Oh my fucking god. This is absolutely horrendous. Okay, apparently I put it in downloads March 7th hunt, which I didn't mean to do. Okay, fucking Jesus Lord Christ on a hill. And then you have to... What's really weird as well is it doesn't say it's a supported file type. It's so weird. So then you have to like show it and then load it. Failed to load file. Oh my god, this used to work! Or maybe it's insert. Maybe it's insert. Maybe it's insert. Insert. It's probably bad translations. Fail to load file. Oh my god, I'm having so much fun. What a great day. I don't know. I can't, like, this is why I needed to find it. I need to find a better pipeline than this. Why are PMX files so prevalent and so fucking awkward to work with? I just don't understand. Have we not got why have we not got better software? It just doesn't make any sense. Given how popular they are. I mean, there has been things, I've never managed to get this to work. There has been like PMX to Unity plugins, but I can never get that to work. MMT to Unity. This is like 7 years ago. Blender. I swear to God, Blender makes me want to put myself in a blender. Maybe that's why they called it Blender. Blender makes me want to shrink myself and put myself in a blender and put it on full speed and just put myself out of my own misery, because it's just awful. This will just be saying to use the plugin that I'm already using, and yes, okay, I can get it from PMX into Unity, but I lose. Well, no, I don't. That's the thing, right? The only reason, this is what I'm saying, right? The only reason I lose the UV mapping in the materials is because I need to have them rigged properly. Now, the crazy part is they come with their own rigging, right? I don't even know where it is now. If I can save this somewhere, God knows where. But like, I manually rigged the... You can manually rig the PMX directly. Well, it's like, it's already, basically it's already rigged, right, is what I'm saying. So if we go into here and you go to convert to non-standard, right, you'll see the bonds and you can select the bonds and all the rest of it, but it doesn't work properly in iCloud. It just looks fucking weird. everything kind of breaks slightly and it just looks like shit. And that's why like this does a much better job for like iClone at like reskinning and re-rigging it. But clearly it's fucking the UVs up. It's like no matter how I do this, right? There's some part of it that just completely fucks it up in one way or another. And it's like there isn't a single way that I can just have everything work. It's like I have to choose between fucked rigging, where the animations and bones look all fucked, but retain all the materials and textures, or good rigging and then I lose all the materials and textures. It's like, Jesus Lord Christ, all I want is like to keep the model looking like the model and have it rigged properly. And it's like, oh, I can get one of it to work, but then it'll fuck the other thing up. Because it's like nobody makes fucking software in this whole thing. I would hate to be a 3D modeler or whatever, because all the 3D software I use is just absolute trash. Like, it just... none of them just work and do what they should do. I don't know what it is. I feel like there's been like too many attempts at trying to like universalize the fucking format or whatever, and there's just so many competing formats. But then you get formats now like FBX, which is like probably the accepted universal format. But then things like Blender will just like not make good FBX files. like this thing now, this is like super new software, and it's just like, no, I'm not loading the materials. Fuck you. Fuck you and your textures. I don't want them. But I'm gonna fuck your UV maps up in the process. It's just like, oh my god. I still can't believe. I have to keep testing it because I still can't believe. I can't know. It's still insane to believe that this is how it works. That it just ignores the textures. But for some reason it works on this fucking poly guy, even though it's exactly the same setup. Exactly the same setup. But for mine, it's like, nah, I don't want to load those. Fuck you. But let me just butcher all your UV maps anyway. Oh, you know what I think it is? I think I save it as a metasuqua file first, and then I know I turned it into an X file at some point, but I can't remember why. Because I think there's another piece of software called 3D Rad that will load the X file and let me turn it into an FBX file. But like, oh my god, the number of steps is insane. Like, why isn't it? I just don't understand why. There's got to be... What is there not a new PMX editor now? Like, this software is so old. Like, I wish I was smarter, because I would do it myself, because like I feel like this should exist. Somebody needs to make one, but I'm not smart enough to do it. I don't... PMX editor. This thing is so old. Right, PMXE 254FA, a newer PMXE in English, more complete translation and tools reconfigured. Which version am I using? This has got to be old now. 0.2. 0.2.2. So it sounds like this will be 0.2.5.4F. It might actually have like FBX support or something. Probably not. Where do I get it from? No, you're an advert. Fuck off. Go away. Downloads page PMXE link. Download in English PMXE 254F. Be sure to unblock the zip before you extract all. How many times do I have to click to get this fucking thing? Just send you a fucking blood sample as well. It's on DeviantArt. Good lord. Alright, so where do I fucking download it then? Yeah, enough of your adverts, just give me the fucking thing. But I have to be fucking signed in or something, don't I? Download external link box Mega. I've used Mega before. Mega download. Okay. Open file. Extract all. Let me close this one or I'll get confused. Okay. PMX editor. Please tell me. Great. Wonderful. What are you looking for? CSScript.dll. Do I have that? Yeah, alright, I get it. Culture. There's a fucking shit ton of DLLs that's missing. Apparently. Aren't they in lib? That's where they should be. Readme.txt. .NET Framework 4. DirectX Runtime. Visual C++ 2010. Visual Studio. You haven't bootstrapped any of this then? Okay, let's try these. .NET Framework 4. Probably already got that, have I? Your installation will not occur because it's already a part of the operating system. Yeah, that's what I thought. 3.5 Service Pack 1. This is still ancient, I can tell. Again, it'll probably refuse to run. Yeah. We now got DirectX. Visual C++ 2010 redistributable. 64-bit. We're sorry, this download is no longer available. Oh goody. It's probably built into Windows at this point. Visual Studio 2013, Visual C++, redistributable. Yeah, I feel like this is very old still, but so is the other one, so it might be newer. Oh, we only want x64. We only want 64-bit. It won't load. Oh, it does. Yeah, repair or uninstall. It's already in. So then where are these missing DLLs then? About unblocking DLL. When handling files acquired via the internet, the operation may be restricted by our security. If a large number of errors are displayed on the enclosed DLL and it does not start, please unblock from the properties of the file concerned. What? What do you mean unblock though? PMX editor, plugin, a CS script, a CS script. Ah! Can I just run it as admin? Wow, great. Even better software than Blender. Alright, just fucking... I get it. Alright, can we not just fucking end it here then? Do we have to like be stuck in this infinite loop of fucking DLL errors? Good God. Also, that was kind of weird, right? Because the icon changed to purple at some point. It was blue and then it was purple. Also, it looked like the... Oh, it's because there's... Okay, the blue one is 32-bit and the purple one is 64-bit. That's why. Run as administrator. What could possibly go wrong? Still hates everything and everyone, just like me. I just want to be able to log PMX file. I get it, Windows. Fuck you. I get it. You fucking hate everything that's not Microsoft. I know. We all know this. So how the fuck do I get Windows to... Like, because it loads the other one. What's the fucking difference? Where's my old one? English PMX editor. Data plugin lib. I don't really get what the difference is. This is still kind of trash. Like, this is what I don't get though. Like, come on, dudes, right? Like, if you're smart enough to program a fucking program like this, surely you can, like, find a better solution than, oh yeah, you need to fucking get deep into the weeds of Windows fucking DL management or whatever the fuck is happening in order to get this thing to run. Like, no, you need to like fucking make it find ways to run or have better instructions on how to get it to run. I mean, this readme is kind of fucking vague, isn't it? About unblocking DLL, I don't even know what this means. I've never heard of a DLL being blocked before. When handling files acquired via the internet, I've never come across this in my life. It's funny how it only affects your software. If a large number of errors are displayed on the enclosed DLL and it does not start, please unblock from the properties of the file concerned. I don't even know what that means. The only thing you have in file properties is whether it's allowed to execute or not, and if it's read-only or not. And you could go as high as ownership, and if it's allowed to run in administrator privileges. There's nothing about fucking DLLs being blocked in file properties, because that would come under whether they're able to execute or not. So I don't even know what that's supposed to fucking mean. Reference URL. What is this shit? I bet this link doesn't exist anymore. It's always the same. It's like you gotta fix other people's broken shit. Oh great, it's all in Japanese. Oh well, that's helpful. And what version of Windows even is this? Windows Server XP Service Pack 2? Seriously, is there no newer software than this to do this shit with? Fucking hell. And this is the thing, right? Like, MMDs are like insanely popular. And even like the big gacha companies will release their model. They do release their models in PMX format from their characters and stuff like that. And all the Miku fucking fan base and music video stuff and all that shit, it's all PMX. Well, that's where it comes from. It's Miku Dance. And I can't believe that the software, given how popular it is, that nobody's made anything more up to date than this that actually supports like fucking FBXs and various other shit. It's insane to me. I downloaded this before and I couldn't get it to work. A 6-year-old now. Library MMD for Unity is a Unity version of Library MMD, which is for loading Miku dance files at runtime in Unity 3D. The downside of this is, how the fuck do I animate them? MMD for Unity tools, high definition render pipeline. What's this? Tools for Unity HDRP helps make MMD easy. 2 to 4 years ago. Okay. Download and import the Unity package to your project from the Releases tab. Okay. Again, the only downside of this, even if I get like native support in Unity for MMD, then it becomes an issue of how do I fucking animate them, because it's not going to use the Arclon animation system. So then I have to find a new way to animate them, which is a whole new fucking, a whole other wormhole. Group separated submesh to several materials by given materials defined in FBX. But maybe if I can import, that's the thing. Maybe if I can import the MMD into Unity, Unity has an FBX export tool. Or maybe this thing turns it into an FBX so that Unity can read it. Like at some point, maybe I'm able to get an FBX from the PMX file out of this thing. Maybe. I may have tried this previously. But yeah, I'm desperate to find a better solution than this because this is like banging your head against a brick wall. But that's the thing, right? Like I thought originally, this is why. Oh my god, this is why it drives me insane, right? So originally, the issue I thought was that I can't seem to get the FBX with its materials out. So then I painstakingly manually assign all of the materials to the frickin' model, export it from here. This exports the materials with the model, and then this thing just refuses to load them. And it's like, are you fucking kidding? Are you actually serious right now? It's just so like I don't even know. This thing could be the best thing ever and have full support and everything and just work out the box and whatever, but like in order to use iClone animations I still need to get it into this thing with materials, and I feel like it just won't load them. So in a way maybe I'm trying to fix the wrong part of the equation right now. Oh, is this literally? That looks like yeah, that's Accurig. Okay, this guy here 6 months ago looks like he's using the same thing that I'm using. That's Accurig right there. It's only 6 months old, and 696 other people from the same issue as me, using the same kind of software that I am. So this actually looks kind of promising. Okay, let's see it. Let's see it.
Hello guys, welcome back to another Blender tutorial.
Hi, Mr. TTS.
Today I'm going to show you how to properly export your character from Blender to any other softwares without any missing textures.
Oh my
This
god.
can help you export anything from Blender to any other software with all the textures.
Color me amazed.
Begin.
Okay.
So here I have my character here I want to export to Mixamo to Rig, then back into Blender again. I will show you how to export to a Keurig or DAZ without problem. So I'm going to show you how to properly do that.
Well,
So
get on
first
with it
let's
then.
press it to select all your character body. So make sure everything is selected in here. Let's go to File and Export. So here I'm going to...
I swear to God, if he says copy, if he says path copy, and then clicks the copy button and says that's it, I'm gonna fucking jump out the window.
Export us FBS.
FBS? Don't you mean FBX?
So I'm not going to touch anything here.
Not even your penis.
I'm not going to do any settings. And let's see what is
Sentings.
going to be happening.
Seance? What about a seance? Are you up for a bit of a seance? Oh, that's meditation.
So let's say I'm going to save it on here, my desktop test folder, and I'm going to save it as a name. There is J and
Okay.
So I'm going to give it a name Jane Rake 1, then export it.
Okay.
So here it is. You can see the first size is only 1.45 megabytes.
Oh my god.
So that means that the textures could not embed it into the FBS file.
You know, why do you keep saying FBS? It's FBX, you fucking idiot. You know what this reminds me of? There was a Sam and Max game. God, I'm trying to think when. Early 2000s, maybe probably before then, actually, late 90s. It's these Sam and Max games, and there were these. Oh no, there's something more than that. Oh my god, yeah, I know what that is. That sounds like. I know what it's reminding me of. There's a Dreamfall Chapters has this shit bot thing that follows you around, and it's using the same TTS pretty much. It's like, oh my god, I will. But actually, I think it's actually a voice actor like putting it on because it's like, I mean, it could be TTS, but it seems over the top, like fake, you know. But that's what this one sounds like. It actually sounds like that character.
Let's try and import it into Mixamo and see if texture will be lured.
Lured. You're gonna lure the texture. You're gonna put some.
Now you can see we did not get any textures for our character.
Boo! You
So now
suck.
let's go back to Blender
You suck.
and see how we can fix this.
Yeah, go on then.
So first let's select the character again and let's go to File Export. And here FBX again.
Yeah.
Let's go to Path Mode and choose Copy.
Doesn't work.
This means that they are going to copy the textures.
Doesn't
And
work.
then here click on this and make sure. This is called Embedded Texture.
Doesn't work.
We are going to embed a texture to the FBX
Doesn't
file. So
work.
let's use this Jane Rig 2.
Doesn't work.
And here we are going to export all of the mesh and the other. So that other settings. Let's remove the animation.
Okay, to be fair, I never did this mesh and other. Because I said all, right, which would include the mesh and other, right? So I don't really know why you would need that as well, but alright, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. So let's go to shading. You can see our textures are here. Let's go to export, FBX, just to prove him wrong. March output, we'll call this one March 777, just for the hell of it. So he went to path mode, copy, which I've done 1 billion fucking times. Does he have the bottom one lit up? I don't know, he scrolled down. Does he have the bottom button lit up or not? Yes. Okay, so is mine. And then the only difference is he said he basically only selected mesh and other. There we go, mesh and other. Although they were all selected, so I can't see why But you never know, Blender might just be the shittest thing ever. Starting to feel like it is actually. Export. We did it. But then the other issue as well, right? Like I said, is 77 FBX. It's like the smallest match we've ever seen. I mean, if T, which is 73 megabytes, right, didn't load the texture, and that one, that didn't even come from Blender. Yeah, I've never managed to get Blender to make an FBM folder for me yet. The only way I managed to get these ones was through 3D Exchange. But yeah, no, I suppose it makes sense, right? This is the smallest one I've ever seen because we basically didn't export the armature or the lights or the camera and all this other stuff, right? Which we might actually fucking need, to be honest. This guy's full of shit.
Settings. Let's remove the animation. Okay, now you can see that Jane 2 has 10.8 megabytes and Jane 1 rig is only 1.41 megabyte. So let's try and see if we export this rig to Mixamo, I can get the textures.
If this works, I would be amazed, right? Because you don't have... Also, I noticed he doesn't really have textures. He's just got colors. And this is the other thing that's annoying me about these fucking tutorials. These are not textures. These are materials with color properties on them. They're not textures. Textures are images UV wrapped around a model. You do not have that in your model. Which is why you don't need an FBM file, because you don't need... This will just be basic color information. So this is the stupidest example I've ever seen. So even if, like, yeah, his Mixamo might load those colors now, but it says textures in the title. Colors are not textures. So even if this works for him now, it doesn't work for me because it's not the same thing. He's exporting colors, not textures. I guess he doesn't know the difference.
Now you can see the same thing happened in our Mizamo. The textures did not load over here.
Well, get on with it and show us how to do it then, you dickhead.
So why? First we have embedded the tester. Everything is inside FBX file, but the texture is not load.
Is not load?
Because our node settings for this character here is very complex for to export by FBX. Blender cannot export a complex shader as FBX. So what we can do to fix this is to remove or simplify our node. So to do so, we are going to delete the principal BZF. Then after that, add another BZF node again. And let's connect this to the surface. And now we're going to connect this color to the color. So we delete all this, guys. And let's left with only the UV and an image texture.
Okay, so this is kind of... He didn't even bake anything though, did he? So he deleted... He deleted BDSM. He's going to go search BDSM. I don't have color. Well, there's color there though. Maybe get rid of that complex shader then, like you said. And then color to base color. BDS to surface. But isn't that only going to apply to that one? Because the only thing that was changing was the eyeballs. What if we select a different part of the mesh now? Okay, it's going straight to there though. We could try it. We can try it. I've not actually tried this exactly before. So we'll do 78.fbx. Copy. I think we want all of these, to be honest. I don't think we want to just limit it to what he said. I want the whole lot. It exports too quickly, like there's no way it's including all those textures. Try it. No dice. Okay, I will say we do. It does look like we're getting a step closer. We actually got an FBM for the first time ever out of Blender. For the first time ever out of Blender, we actually got an FBM folder with a texture in it. I think this thing just doesn't fucking work anywhere though, does it? You know what it could be though? It could be that this thing doesn't like the Chinese characters. That is a possibility, you know. Okay, so maybe it's because it only applied. So now the issue is we need to find out how do we change. Because obviously we're on like the face texture now. How do we change to the next texture? Is it like this? And I bet the nodes change. No, if you don't. Okay. It said MMD base texture. Yeah, see now we're back in shader dev, so I would need to do it. I think I would need to do it on every other fucking part of the model. Can I do that? Hang on a minute. Might be getting somewhere here. MMD base text. It's still going MMD base text directly into principled. I'm not sure about this MMD tune text thing though. Like, we took the shader out of it. I got 2 of these. Well. Yeah, this is weird. You know what though? I am starting to feel like that. I'm starting to feel like because I've seen that before, right? It might be that this program cannot load the textures with the Chinese names. But then again, like, it loads everything else with Chinese names, right? This whole model is in fucking Chinese text, so it would be kind of weird if it just didn't like textures with Chinese names. But I'm just trying to figure out, like, there's got to be a fucking reason behind it, right? Why? Why won't it do it? So I'm going to load the latest version that we just exported into here. And it's still missing all of its textures. So Blender still didn't get the textures. My god, it's like trying to get blood out of a fucking stone. It's unbelievable. What's weird though is, okay, to be fair, like now it actually had in the very first slot, this one here, it had, and it might be that this thing isn't actually the face. Here's an idea. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get March's textures. Okay, let's get this March's textures. We'll make a new folder. This is unbelievable. Right. March 7 textures. Okay, and I'm going to grab... I'm pretty sure we only really used 2 of them though. Like, I only really used this one and this one, as far as I can tell. But these are like the most unique of them. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them English names. Because I feel like maybe that's where it... I mean, I could be wrong, but it's worth trying, right? So if we call this one face, and we call this one dress, and we call this one extra, I don't know, patterns, I don't even know what they are. And then what we'll try and do is... we'll assign these instead to the model. Yeah, that one doesn't apply anything anyway. It's going to take fucking ages, but whatever. I just want to test it. I won't have to do the whole thing, but I just want to see if it'll load English named textures, because that could be what's going wrong. Right, so there's part of the face at least. Face again. Mouth is face again. Eyes and all the other shit, face again. It's basically the face until it becomes the dress. I don't know. It's worth trying. I've seen software struggle with foreign text before. But like, this is modern software, right? Modern software shouldn't be struggling with Chinese text. Older software tends to. What's ironic about that is the older software that we were using, which was the PMX thing. Mind you, that was specifically made for like Japanese users anyway. In fact, the version we had was translated into English. So obviously, if that didn't handle Japanese file names, then it wasn't going to be good for Japanese users, was it? But older Western software can struggle with it. Okay, I mean, that's not everything. Where's the hair? Okay, BioCube. Oh, we also didn't get the hair texture. I don't know where the hair texture was. Should have been a hair one in here. There's the hair one. Hair. Okay, that's the boots. That might be the hair, actually. I'm not sure. No, I don't think that was the hair. Where the hell's the hair? Oh, that's... I see what that is. Could that be patterns? I think it's actually just dress. Yeah, I think it's just the dress one still. Yeah. So that means that one's also the dress. God, I wish I could read Chinese. I don't really. But it's so hard to like see where I'm up to. One of these has got to be the fucking hair. Good God. No, that's the legs. Okay, so that would be... It's actually part of the face texture, I think, all the skin's on there. Ooh, maybe not. That looks weird, actually. Wait, what? Maybe it's patterns, then? It's gonna be one of those. Or maybe it's 2 and 3. Weird. Or maybe that is supposed to be part of the... Yeah, I don't think that's actually a skin, is it? I don't know, I can't... It's supposed to be like tights or something. So is it dress then? I think maybe it is. Yeah. Fucking hell. We're all fucking there. What's this? Oh, God almighty. This is so fucking grim. Right, I'm running out of patience now. The only bit I'm missing is this one. Show me that one. Right, that's wrong. That should be dress. And the fucking hair. To be fair, I don't think her hands are coloured right now, but I don't even care about finishing her off because it probably won't work anyway. I just want to see if this actually works. And that one is the hair. There we go. Now she's starting to look a bit more colourful. The fingers are missing as well. Which I assume is dress, because the legs were part of the dress. Yeah, there's the nails and everything as well. But also that doesn't look right either. That should be dress. Oh, that is dress. That's kind of weird. Is that bow really pink? Probably is. Looks like it should be blue to me though. That's probably right. I don't know. Doesn't really matter that much. Also, there was some weirdness going on with the eyes. Yeah, that shouldn't be that. That should be face. Ugh. That doesn't look right to me. Dress? I can't be under the dress. No, but that actually can't. That looks better than the other one. Yeah, actually, you know what that'll be? That'll be one of these other. I bet you any money that's like one of these black things, but I don't know which one. Like AH1 or whatever. I don't know. Whatever. Like, I'm not that bothered about making it look perfect. Yeah, that doesn't look quite good. Eyebrows probably have something similar as well. That's got to change your whole face though, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know why her eyebrows are dark pink. Or maybe they are dark pink. I don't know. Anyway, what I'm trying to do, now that they've all got English texture names, if we export it, FBX, include textures, March 79. Just leave all these unticked, honestly. March 79. Takes a little while to do the textures. It's an enormous file compared to, like, you know, the ones that come out of Blender at least. So you'd expect that to be like a decent sign that, like, something's working. I don't have a FBM folder yet. I don't understand why it takes so long. No, really, I don't understand the why I don't get. progress bar in here. Or you try loading it as it is, but I feel like the FBM folder should appear at some point. It's just hasn't yet. So I wouldn't be too worried if it doesn't work right now, because it might be that the FBM folder hasn't showed up yet. I'm at my wit's end with this though. Like, how many hours is this now? We're coming up to 3 hours. No, I mean, I'm not surprised because there 79 only just showed up. So let's try it again now that 79 FBM showed up. I don't think it'll work. I think this fucking software is trash. I do. I think this software is just trash. Even if it doesn't work with Chinese file names, that's trash in and of itself, especially in 2024. But I think it's even more trash than that. I think it just won't load them. It's like temperamental and awkward as fuck. And the fact that it destroys your UV mapping at the same time is just unforgivable. It makes this software next to useless. And it's weird, right? Because the thing it does, the thing it mainly does, which is to rig the character, is actually super impressive. So they spent a lot of money, a lot of time, and whatever, and a lot of effort, I would think, getting all this to work. So like, fix the fucking broken part of it. Make it so it actually loads the textures in. Like, it's just beyond me. Like, I would think that would be the easy part, right? They've done training AI models or whatever to get it to do all this fancy ass rigging shit, but then they can't be asked to fucking tie up the materials and the textures properly, so you can actually use it. It's just fucking insane. So there we go. I think that ultimately proves that it's just fucking shit, doesn't it? It just shows that it's just fucking shit. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. 4 fucking hours I'm never getting back, just to ultimately prove that it doesn't work. I'll try it one last time just in case it was still finishing things off, because the FBM folder did take a while to show up. I'm 99.9% convinced it's not going to work. It's just so annoying when there's like, and then they make these software like sealed black boxes, right? Where like, I can't change settings, I can't tick boxes, like I have zero control over it. It's like treating me like I'm an idiot, like, oh, or that, like it's that simple, right? Like, oh, I just load the character, check the model, tick the nodes, and I'm good to go. Like, yeah, and what about like now when it just won't load fucking textures and you don't give me any options? Like, I should have the ability to load the textures manually onto here if I need to, but there's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Or just don't fuck with the UV map. Like, at least keep the UV map intact. Like, none of this would be that much of a problem if it would just retain the UV map. But look, I'm going to default through it again, just to make sure I'm not going insane. So I'm not going to actually... I'm not actually going to try and refine anything. I'm just going to leave it at its defaults. Okay, now I'm going to export it as an FBX. And then this is the other thing that drives me insane. Do you want to include the textures? What fucking textures? You never load them. You never load them. This is the biggest insult ever when they're like, oh, do you want to embed the texture? And what size do you want? Yeah, be like you ever load them? Ever? What a joke. Absolute fucking piss take. So I'll save it as March 80. So we got the rigged version, saved as March 80, and then just to prove that I'm not going insane, I mean maybe I am. Whatever, we'll take everything. So we have our rig character. We've lost all of the materials and textures because the fucking software sucks dick. It's also renamed everything. And it's like, oh, everything's like underscore. Yeah, so clearly it does seem like it doesn't like Chinese characters. But I tried renaming all the fucking textures. Yeah. And it still wouldn't load them. Right, so okay, I don't know. Face. Yeah, already you can see it's fucked it up. The face shouldn't come down here. Yeah, so it fucks the mapping up, so then your textures don't work anymore. Like seriously, like who makes this software? Who? What good is it? There you go, fucked everything up. Now the hair's part of the dress. UV wrapping's fucked. Textures are fucked. Nothing fits anymore. Just like I've been saying all along. Absolutely fucking useless. Absolutely useless. But if they would just fix that one part of the software, right? Which you would think would be the easier part of the software, like just get it to load the textures and materials onto the model. Then when you fuck with the UV mapping, as long as you do a good job of making sure they all fit where they're supposed to, then I guess it's, you know, it's probably fine. Or the other way around, right? Don't fuck the UV mapping up. Somehow find a way to retain that so that the original textures can be reapplied once you've rigged the character. And the person using the software can then I don't think I'll keep. Do I want to keep watching this? I'm curious where it goes with it, but it doesn't work. It's no longer Blender that's. I mean, okay, Blender is at fault. I still can't get Blender to actually export the fucking things properly. So that is still an issue. But to be fair, it's like I'm cock blocked from both ends of the process. Not only can I not get Blender to export the fucking materials, which wouldn't be that much of a problem in and of itself, because as you can see, I can manually reassign them. It just takes a long time. But that's only part of the problem anyway, because I'm cock blocked from the other end. The fucking rigging software just won't load the fuckers anyway, even if I do manage to get them out. So like, why do I bother? What's the point?
So let me hide that one, and for the shed too, let do the
let do the same. This has got to be AI generated.
So yeah, we can add this and have our shirt.
It's probably just some guy who can't type, can't spell. It's probably something like Kid or whatever.
So now after that, I'm going to unhide everything. I have my character texture back. So now I'm going to export this one again as FBX. So let's go.
And this kind of worked, right? Because it kind of got one of the textures out in an FBM file. But the weird part about that is, it didn't load it through the FBX. It made the FBM folder at long last and actually fucking copied the texture like it was supposed to, but it didn't actually load it through the FBX. So like, there's still a lot more to this in Blender than what everyone's saying. I don't know, for my particular setup at least. But that again, it's like it's a pointless thing to try and learn and fix anyway, because like I'm cock blocked from the other end. Even if I find the perfect workflow for Blender, which I would like to learn, because like it's kind of insane that Blender just fucking skips all the materials and you've got to do all this in the fucking first place. Honestly, it's kind of trash. It is fucking trash. It really is. Like, Blender you shouldn't even have to do any of this. Blender should just fucking do it. If Blender knows that you want this texture on a model, no matter how it's doing it with its nodes or whatever the fuck, as soon as you tick a box on FBX to say, yeah, I want these, it should fucking do it for you. It should do whatever the fuck needs doing and just do it for you. It's insane that you have to fucking do all this shit. And it still doesn't work. But it's also equally insane that this fucking thing doesn't load the fucking textures when they're there anywhere. And I tried changing them from Chinese names. I've tried everything I can think of. I mean, the only other thing I can think of, given that it's clearly renaming the Chinese material names as well, that are in Chinese text, I don't even think I can do that any though. So 79 should be with the materials that we exported out of this. It'll probably import this just fine with the materials. Because it's this software that won't fucking load them. But I bet this one will. Does anything work? Anything actually do what it's meant to do? There you go, I told you. Told you it would work. Which shows my export was perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. My export is perfect. I think I don't think I can rename materials in here, which is a shame. Because I think that's the issue. Well, I don't fucking know, to be honest. I have paint, pick, explore, load material profile for DAS Genesis, load material, save material. Oh wait, I can't select material. Okay, I mean, even if I just call them... No, that saves a file. It doesn't actually rename the material. Oh, wait. Oh, it does. Okay. We can do one last experiment then. take a while. But again, it's just lazy programming. They obviously have some kind of search and replace on like Chinese characters in order for it to come back the way that it does. But they just can't be asked to do it with the fucking texture file system or whatever. I'm probably wasting my time right now. But what? I've already lost 3 hours to this shit. Okay, I'm glad they let you rename the materials in here. I didn't think you could. Okay, now all the textures have English names, all the materials have English names. 81. I swear to God, if it doesn't load the fucking textures now, then I'm genuinely out of ideas. I'm genuinely out of ideas. I mean, yeah, the morphs are in Chinese, the bones are in Chinese, but it seems to be fine with the mesh and the bones. Doesn't need the morphs, I don't think. Like, the only part that it just fucking hates is trying to load those materials and textures, right? It takes a while. This was 81, wasn't it? Yeah, we have to wait for 81.fbm to show up. Which takes a while. I also hate software that does this, right? It's exporting and it's got no feedback to me as a user. It doesn't have a progress bar, it doesn't tell me it's exporting. It's just, I could close this program and think it's done, but it's not. It's actually still doing stuff in the background. Like, fucking tell me then. Give me a progress bar. We're just gonna work blind apparently. I just gotta guess. It's still not done. Still not done. Like, give me some indicator. Like, you've literally got space right here where you could give some feedback to the fucking user. Just, you know, please wait, ... That's all you need. Anything, a little fucking progress barrier, something. Good fucking lord. This software is hundreds of pounds, by the way, which I've bought several times now, but I won't ever buy it again. Oh my god, will you just hurry up? Or at least tell me that you're doing it. Like I said, I hate this. This is one of my pet hates. When programs will just do shit in the background and not tell you that they're doing anything. It should be illegal. Oh my god. Wait, did I see something? Nope. Okay, now. You're all fucking dare. Hurry up! The worst part is it probably won't even work. That's the worst part, is I'm probably waiting for this. It's wasting my time. Because when I try and load it, it won't even work. You know what's really weird is it's like I almost feel like if you load, well actually maybe that's true, actually. I feel like I only see the FBM folder when I actually try to import it. Maybe that's true, maybe the importer actually makes that folder. Because I swear to fucking god it should have showed up by now. Let me just try. That's what it feels like. It feels like it waits to fail imported first, and then it makes the. Well, it might be because it might be the importer that makes the FBM folder, rather than the exporter. I don't know. Seems kind of weird though. Yeah, because now I've got the 8081.fbm. Now that this is importing it. I bet it is. I bet it's the importer that makes the folder and sticks the materials in it. Like extracts. Almost like it's unzipping the materials from the zip file or something. Oh my fucking god, I don't believe it. It's a Christmas miracle. Now it's not entirely correct. Because her eyes don't look right. But my god, this is the closest. I think it's just her eyes. Why are her eyes fucked up then? Her eyes are fine here. Actually, you know what it probably is? It's the eyes are probably fine. There's probably just a material in front of them that's blocking them. Oh my god, I don't believe it. Is this a Christmas miracle? So there we go. Now we know what it was. It hates Chinese file names and it hates Chinese material names. And rather than rename them or fix them or whatever, work around it, it basically just says, no, fuck you, I'm not loading them. Great job, guys. Wonderful job. Yeah, my biggest hint was the fact that it renamed all the bones. Anything that didn't have English text in it, it just put fucking underscores in the name. And it just added another underscore each time it did it. Which is like really fucking shit programming, by the way. Like, you could at least put a number in there. That is absolutely scandalous. But at least now we know how to get it to work, right? 3.5 hours later. Okay, well, now there's just the I. So we're actually getting somewhere. I don't believe it. Now we'll see it like fuck up the UV map and it'll fuck up the textures when it does it as well. So I don't know. We don't see that one. So I wonder if that one's the thing that's on top of the eye. But also, like, why doesn't it look like that in this one? That's the weird thing, right? Because it should still be doing the same thing. Yeah, that's the one that we can see, actually. Okay, that's like the pupil. And that's one that we can't see. So I'm going to remove that one because I feel like that's the thing that's getting in the way of the eye. How do you take it out? There's normally a little bin icon in iClone to do it, but here there isn't. Backspace. Try delete. Oh, delete. Weird place to put it, but okay. Alright, we're actually getting somewhere. Holy fuck. It's a Christmas miracle, like I said. Okay, so you know what? I'm actually going to close this. Close the million other fucking things we've got open. Do we even need Blender open anymore? I mean, Blender was about as useful as a chocolate fucking teapot. I mean, to be fair, we got the mesh out through Blender, but fuck me. Trying to get anything else, good luck. I'm gonna clear this folder because it's just full of shit that never worked. And then we can start again. It's just Daisy the Swimmer. What a great game. Fucked around with that last night. What a joke. March 7th, embed textures, go. So it looks like we don't. 27 images have been deleted. Do you want to embed the images? Oh, fuck. It's okay, we might have to start again. Yes. It wasn't in March. Look, it was. They were here. This is the problem, right? The fuck. It said that. Oh, I did. Oh, you know what? I deleted the FBX that we loaded it from. That's why. Still, why the heck? Why did it delete the fucking textures though? That doesn't make any sense. Right, 10. I'm going to put none. Because we don't want a texture in there. Oh my fucking god, this is absolutely horrendous. I like, okay, fair enough, I deleted the FBX file, but we're in memory, right? So I don't really know why it deleted the fucking textures when the textures aren't even in that folder. Like, what the fuck? Oh my god, it's just torture, isn't it? My existence is torture. Okay, we're going to be here all fucking day again. Right, you know what's going to be quicker? If I say which one probably uses the most materials. I mean, honestly, I feel like the thing that affects most of the materials was the one that was the dress. Oh. Wait, what the fuck? Now everything's got the face in it. Wait, I'm so confused. Oh, I think it means all similar materials. Okay, that might actually be correct. Maybe that is what we want. But wait, I don't fucking know. I don't know, I'm so fucking confused. 4, 5. I swear to fucking God, right? This is like lying to me. I've just been through these materials and it's said there was nothing in them. And now that I'm clicking on them, it says the face is in them. Ever since I ticked this fucking box here. Oh my god, I'm going out of my mind. I don't even know what is happening. I think maybe I accidentally clicked affect all channels. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck is happening anymore. I am so confused. Right, what is this? I'm sure that's not actually doing anything, you know. Yeah, I thought so. So now this thing is lying. It's like it's bugged. So when there's no texture in it now, it's going to show that texture, which is wrong. And I'll prove it there. So you can see it has no texture in it because that doesn't affect anything. Brilliant. So the software is bugged as well now. So now we've got a bugged view and we can't actually see whether there's a texture in there or not. Marvellous work as always, Reillusion. Get yourself a biscuit. Put some fucking rat poison in it while you're at it. Jesus fucking Christ. Right, go to the top. Hello. Okay, I'm trying to get my camera back on. Bear with me. Must have knocked the cable or something. There I am. Right, we're gonna start again. You know what though? Like for something like this, I would have loved it if there was some actual better resource on the internet for all of this. So maybe I can be the resource. So what I'm gonna do. Doubt there's anybody watching right now anyway. I'm gonna end the stream. I'm just gonna retitle it so that like people can see what the stream is. And then, because I'm gonna have to start again anywhere. Yeah, so I might as well title it so that it's actually useful to people. Okay, I'll be back up in a sec. Actually, I probably need to only stop it on YouTube, I think.